Hey there, my name is Przemek and here's the review of the Lovecraft Sextet album titled Miserere. It's the third album by this project. The previous ones, In Memoriam and Nights of Lust, were released by the Novali Records in 2021 and 2022. And only 7 months have passed since Nights of Lust were released, and we get Miserere, this time released by Debemur Morti, the French label associated mostly with extreme forms of metal. And while this album, in terms of means of expression, it isn't metal, but the specific aura hovering around the music makes it easier to understand why it is out on this particular label. And make no mistake, it has nothing to do with Lovecraftian mythology. Haven't heard the other albums by this band, to be honest. By this one, well, let's talk about it later. The man behind the Lovecraft Sextet is Jason Conan, an extremely prolific musician. Let's mention only a few of his creative activities. Celestial Season, a death doom metal band. To be honest, its album Solar Lovers from 1994 is criminally underrated, at least in my book. Then we have the Kilimanjaro Dark Jazz Ensemble and the Mount Fuji Doom Jazz Corporation, which are like two sides of the same coin, the Dark Doom coin, so to speak. Then we have Mansur, for example, and The Thing with Five Eyes. The albums of both projects were reviewed by us in the Santa Sangre blog, so if you want to know our opinion on them, I'll just add the links in the description. And if you visit Jason's Discogs page, you will find like 15 other bands and projects, so busy man. And this album is kind of, well, refreshing. It's a new and different approach to a dark jazz matter. Honestly, I can't recall such a peculiar mixture of dark jazz, sacred music, and black metal, which, honestly speaking, is limited to vocals and harsher guitars here and there in a few tracks, as the musician himself describes it. Repentance, penitence, grief, mourning, and humiliation. The first ever recorded doom jazz black mass. Well, yeah, the production, reverb sound of the album makes it easy to imagine the huge cathedral, the group of jazz musicians in the corner, the ugly corpse-painted fellow screaming in agony to the microphone, and in opposition to him a soprano female vocalist, and the solemn yet blasphemous atmosphere filling the building. And all this works together. Strange but true. The saxophone is often wailing in a surreal lament. The guy is screaming as if he'd vomiting the hellfire, but at the same time, there's a beauty and sadness in this music. It's as profane as sacred, you know. It gets a bit too monotonous and repetitive, but hey, it's a mass, a black mass, and every holy or unholy celebration at the end of the day is by definition monotonous and repetitive. So it shouldn't be considered as a flaw, but as an element of participating in some kind of a ritual. By the way, the person responsible for saxophone on the Miserere is Colin Webster, another musician who, according to Discogs, is probably never leaving a recording studio, as he was involved in making around, I don't know, 200 albums or something. Among others, he collaborated with Dirk Series, Graham Dunning, or Martina Verheven. Honestly speaking, I still miss Jason's mountain projects. I don't know if we would ever get another Kilimanjaro or Mount Fuji installments. To be honest, I doubt that, as it's been years since their last albums. But the Lovecraft Sextet seems like a nice follow-up and interesting stage in Conan's musical journey. Also, perhaps I'm wrong, but something tells me that it's his most personal project so far. Even though there are other people involved in the making of this album, but it's like his own idea and concept from beginning to end that will be developed in the future. Need to check those the Novali releases they made, and I'll be watching this project closely in the future, as Miserere is quite an original piece of music, and I don't use that word very often these days. Okay, that would be it. If you like, click like. If you didn't subscribe the Santa Sangre channel yet, please do it if you want. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.